Thank you, Sonia. And good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining, and super excited to welcome you to our Everyday AI Summit here in Berlin. Got my clicker here. So thank you, Sonia, for the introduction. Thank you to our customers who've attended today, our partners and our employees who've helped put the event together. And we're really excited to talk about a topic which is on everyone's mind. It's AI. This is why we're here. AI is everywhere. It's in every single company. It's in every single department of every single company. And every single company on the planet is becoming an AI company. And what we're really seeing and witnessing right now is a market transition. A transition when we're going from a current state of status quo, how we've been operating for many, many years, into a new world. And this can be a little bit scary, but it can also be pretty exciting for companies that can find a way to embrace and harness that technology shift. So when we look back and think, have we been in a similar place before? Well, we have. In 1995, there was this little thing called the internet. And what the internet basically did is change the way every single organization around the world was doing commerce, was engaging with its consumers, and become even broader than that. If we then accelerate forward to 2006, another market transition happened. It was the cloud. It's when organizations, the opportunity to shift from on-premise type capabilities of building applications, running infrastructure, setting up infrastructure, was moved into the cloud where we could do it faster, more efficient, and more competitive way. So we have seen similar transitions. And actually, if you look back, you kind of think, okay, it was almost obvious at the time, so with the benefit of hindsight, to see what benefits they bring. But it wasn't always obvious at the time. Now we're in the generative AI and predictive AI transition. And what this really means is there is an opportunity for organizations to embrace this, but there will be winners and there will be losers. If we look back at from 2003, an interesting statistic is 52% of Fortune 500 companies are no longer in business today. And I'm not saying those companies are no longer in the Fortune 500 list. They're no longer in business today because they struggled to harness these changes of the internet and the cloud, and their business models were disrupted, and they didn't become the disruptor. They were the disrupted. So really, that does mean there's a risk for opportunities, but there's a risk for our customers, but there's also opportunities for our customers. And really, the challenge is how do we embrace that as an organization? Because when you're in the middle of it, sometimes it feels challenging. How can you sort of see your way through to this new opportunity? For example, think about newspaper companies. Why did they not embrace the internet? At the time, they just saw it as a threat. And a lot of those companies are now in a very different shape to what they would have been had they been slightly more able to embrace those new technology sets. So AI is here. It's here to stay, and it means it's going to create a lot of challenges for organizations. One of those challenges is going to be more people accessing AI and wanting to consume that across your organization. It means there's going to be more data. More data you have to store and catalog and try and consume. There's going to be levels of governance that you're going to need. You're going to have to understand who's doing what. Are they doing things they should be doing? That's going to be complicated. And then you've got the complications around technology. Technology is changing so fast, so rapidly. What you implement and procure and maintain today is going to be different tomorrow. And actually, if we just look at the amount of VC funding that is going in today into AI, around about 60+% of all VC investments are into AI today, which means technology that you're going to be adopting in the near future, you don't even know about. So how do you have the ability to support that change and that transition? So we think, as an organization, if you decide or start to look at how you can deploy an AI strategy for your company, then we think you can move yourself into a position where you can take advantage of this and create an opportunity versus seeing it as a risk. And in order to deliver such a strategy, you're going to need a platform like Dataiku, which is a universal AI platform, and we'll talk a little bit more about what that is. So firstly, what is the AI strategy that you should be thinking about? Well, firstly, you've got to think about all the people, all the users that want to consume these services. What are their skill sets? What are their capabilities? and how they're going to get access to that. So you have to have a strategy that allows all those users, whether they're coders or clickers, to be able to have access. You're going to have a strategy for the data. The data is not going to reside in just one modern lake. It's going to be everywhere. There's legacy data that can't be moved and transformed. How do you leverage that? You need to have a strategy for how you leverage the data wherever it is within your organization to maximize the opportunity. You need to have a governance strategy. Obviously, with things like the external governance with the EU AI Act, it means you have to be thinking about how do you support that. There's going to be more regulation coming and continuously coming. Then you've got your internal compliance as well. How are you ready for that? How are you ready to ensure that people are doing what they should be doing with the data that you want them to do it with? And then finally, as I said before, you've got to think about the technology strategy. Technology is changing at such a pace. The decisions you make today are right for today, but what about tomorrow? How do you have optionality so that you can adapt to the new technology? How do you have optionality so you're not locked in to a single platform or cloud provider, but you have the benefits to be able to use what's right for the business at the right time? So, Dataiku has been in business for over 11 years and has been building a platform that we call the Universal AI Platform, which we believe is fundamentally set up and designed to address that strategy and help you deliver that in your organization. And we're excited with the fact that we've been doing this for 11 years, because in the last 2 years, when Gen AI has hit the hype and loads of companies have jumped into the space, we've got a 10-year advantage because we've been doing this from day one, and we had an amazing vision to see where this market was going. So what does the platform do? Well, it unites your people. It allows all the different skill sets of deep coders and clickers and consumers to be able to access the different types of services they want to access. It helps you unify your data. Access the data where it is. Leverage the data now. Take advantage of it. If it's in a modern lake, amazing. Use that. If you want to move it to another lake in the future, that's fine. If it's in legacy formats, use that as well. So having a strategy to access the data is super important, and Dataiku enables that. We've also got a governance capability, which ensures that not only compliant to the regulation like EU AI Act, but also you're able to build your own internal compliance rules around what it is that you want to do to ensure that you're doing things in a responsible way, in a cost-controlled way, and a way that actually allows you to get the best value out of it, but ensuring that you're doing things within the boundaries of the organization rules. And finally, having the ability to leverage and orchestrate whatever technology is right for you. This is super important because, as I said before, LLMs are spinning up so fast, and they're existing everywhere. Gen AI services are coming out faster than we can imagine. And you've got different data stacks, different compute platforms. You need the ability to leverage all of those things rather than having to make a bet on one and then getting yourself locked into that single vendor approach. So don't just take our word for it. And some of you in the audience today who are validating really all the great things we've been doing, but we're privileged to have 700 customers who've worked with us over the last 11 years, driving real return on investments on their AI implementations. Some of those are more recent customers, some of them have been with us for a very long time, but they're across every single different industry sector. So we're very privileged to have those customers validating what we're doing. But in addition to that, we've also got external validation from Gartner. Now, this is the third time we've been the leader in the quadrant, which again is a privilege, but also recognition of the great work we've been doing for 11 years. But we're not just the leader, we're the most visionary leader on the far right-hand side of the quadrant. And what I really take from this myself is when you look at the bunch, the huddle of the leaders in the top right-hand quadrant, we're the only vendor in that space that, out of Microsoft, Google, and Amazon, that gives you true optionality. It really is an agnostic platform, and we work with all of those vendors in that space. They're our partners. We work to use and leverage their platforms. So it's not a choice of, is it them, is it us? It's actually us with them, us with all of them, us with some of them. That's the great validation that you get.